Hello, welcome to Foster Recap. Today, I am going to explain a suspense thriller and action movie called Speed. Guys, small request from us. Over 99% seeing over videos without subscribing. It means small to you, but it is very encouraging for us. Please subscribe if you like our video. Movie starts with a man working near a lift motor room. The security person arrives and asks for a permission letter. The stranger distracts him and intentionally kills him. The next day, a group of employees enter the elevator, but suddenly the cable wires are cut due to a bomb. The elevator starts descending at full speed, but fortunately, it is stopped by the emergency brakes. The police, including LAPD SWAT bomb disposal officers Jack Traven and Harry Temple, are called to the location. They learn that an unknown bomber is attempting to hold the elevator hostages for a $3 million ransom. Jack and Harry take charge of the security of the people in the elevator. They search floor by floor for the bomber but cannot find him. Jack notices a metal plate covering an opening that provides a direct view of the elevator. Jack and Harry quickly go to the elevator with a bomb around it. Unbeknownst to them, the bomber is hiding in another elevator and overhears their conversation. Jack comes up with a plan and retrieves a rope capable of holding the elevator from the rooftop. They attach the rope to the elevator and the hostages inside are desperately calling for help. The bomber realizes their plan and activates a bomb near the brakes, causing the elevator to start falling. Fortunately, it is stopped midway by the rope, but the connection holding the elevator is weak and unable to support its weight. Jack and Harry rescue the hostages one by one as the situation becomes increasingly tense. Finally, an elderly woman becomes frightened, but Jack motivates her and rescues her just before the elevator collapses. Jack and Harry realize that the bomber is still hiding and they go to the elevator where he is hiding. Unfortunately, he attacks them and takes Harry hostage. The bomber demands his money while holding Harry hostage. In a desperate move, Jack shoots Harry in the leg, forcing the bomber to release him. The bomber flees and detonates a bomb, seemingly dying in the process. Jack and Harry are praised by Lieutenant Mac McMahon, and Harry is promoted. They receive awards for their bravery. However, the surviving bomber watches the awards ceremony from afar, seeking revenge. The next morning, Jack is leaving a coffee shop when suddenly a mass transit bus explodes behind him. He receives a call from the bomber, who explains that another bus has a similar bomb rigged to it. The bomb will activate once the bus reaches 50 miles per hour and will detonate if it drops below that speed. The bomber demands a ransom of $3.7 million and threatens to detonate the bomb if the passengers are offloaded. Annie Porter, an unsuspecting passenger, boards the bus. Jack steals a man's car and races through freeway traffic to catch up with the bus. He informs the driver about the bomb and boards the bus himself. Unfortunately, the bomb is already armed. A felon on board, fearing Jack is about to arrest him, accidentally fires his gun, injuring Sam Silver, the bus driver. Annie takes over for Sam, and when she tries to slow down for Jack to get help, he is forced to reveal the bomb to the passengers. Jack examines the bomb underneath the bus and calls Harry for assistance. The bus is allowed to drive on an unopened section of the freeway. Police Inspector Mac insists on offloading the passengers onto a flatbed trailer, but Jack warns him about bomber's plot. The bomber calls Jack again. Jack informs him about the driver's injury. Convinced, the bomber allows Sam to be offloaded for medical attention. However, when a woman tries to escape with Sam, the bomber witnesses it and detonates a smaller bomb, tragically taking her life. The bomber threatens Jack that any further evacuation attempts will result in the bus being blown up. Jack discovers that a section of the freeway is incomplete and has a 50-foot deep gap. Jack informs all the passengers about the situation, calming them down and assuring their safety. He instructs them to move to a safer position and persuades Annie to accelerate so they can jump the gap. With a daring leap, they successfully clear the gap. After narrowly succeeding, Jack directs Annie to drive towards Los Angeles International Airport, where there are unobstructed runways. Meanwhile, Jack, in a last-ditch attempt to defuse the bomb, goes under the bus on a towed sled. However, the sled breaks loose, and in the process, he accidentally punctures the fuel tank while rescuing himself. The passage brings him back to the bus, where he discovers that they are losing fuel rapidly. Meanwhile, Harry uncovers the bomber's identity. His name is Payne, a former Atlanta PD bomb squad officer. He leads a SWAT team to Payne's home but soon realizes it's a trap. The property explodes, killing Payne and most of Harry's team. Devastated by the loss of Harry, Jack nearly loses hope, but Annie motivates him to persevere. They learn that Payne has been monitoring the passengers through a hidden surveillance camera, giving him an advantage at every turn. To deceive Payne, Mac has a local news crew record and continuously broadcast a loop of the transmission. They successfully offload the passengers onto an airport bus, leaving only Jack and Annie behind. Recognizing an opportunity, Jack spots an opening, and he and Annie escape through a floor access panel. Their daring attempt is successful as they escape just moments before the bus collides with a cargo plane, resulting in a massive explosion. Payne calls Jack, expressing his desire to collect the ransom. Unbeknownst to Payne, he is unaware of their escape. Jack and Mac head to Pershing Square to drop off the ransom and apprehend Payne. Payne realizes he has been deceived when he finds out that no one died in the explosion and that the LAPD is waiting for him. In a fit of rage, Payne poses as a police officer and descends into the subway, where he kidnaps Annie, who had come with Jack, and recovers the ransom. Jack follows Payne into the Metro Red Line subway and discovers that Annie has been equipped with an explosive vest rigged to a pressure-release detonator. Payne hijacks a subway train, handcuffing Annie to a pole and setting the train in motion. Meanwhile, Jack relentlessly pursues them. Payne kills the train driver, but Jack manages to climb on top of the train to confront him. Payne becomes aware of Jack's presence on the roof and attempts to bribe him with the ransom money. However, his anger escalates when a dye pack in the bag explodes, staining the cash. In a fit of rage, Payne starts shooting, but Jack narrowly escapes the gunfire. A frenzied showdown ensues on the train's roof, with Payne gaining the upper hand and attempting to strangle Jack. Because he is not John Wick, only Jack, however, Jack fights back and pushes Payne's head up, resulting in him being decapitated by an oncoming railway signal, finally putting an end to his madness. Jack descends and deactivates Annie's vest but is unable to free her from the pole as Payne had the key to the handcuffs. Determined to stop the train, Jack accelerates it, causing it to jump the tracks and plow through a construction site before bursting onto Hollywood Boulevard. The train car eventually comes to a halt on the street. Miraculously unharmed, Jack and Annie emerge safely. In a heartwarming moment, Annie proposes to Jack, and they share a kiss while a crowd watches in amazed. The end. Thank you for watching our content. Please like, share and remember to subscribe if you like our video. Take care and bye-bye.